Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Simon April, Reverend Efanga. We're talking about the nudist beach at Trafalgar. Now, Simon, as the representative of the Hibiscus Coast municipality, the spokesperson, tell us where the municipality is at the moment with the nudist beach.
Thank you, Johan. Currently, we are in the process of having the amended bylaw gazetted and published, officially published. So we are in that process right now.
Okay, but now take us up to the bylaw. Just refresh our memories. How did we get to this stage?
Around February 2014, we received an application from KwaZulu-Natal Naturalist Association applying that a portion of the beach in the north of Trafalgar, in the south of Trafalgar, and south of Mpenjati, to be proclaimed as a nudist-friendly beach. And what we did thereafter, we did a research, and our research was based on, I will say, 4 or 5 critical terms. Firstly was on the issue of the Constitution, the South African Constitution, and secondly was on the issue of laws on nudity, and thirdly was on the vision of the municipality, and fourthly on the issue of Integrated Coastal Management Act, and fifthly was on the issue of the NDP, National Development Plan. So we looked at those 5 documents and we did our own research as a municipality. But in addition to that, we also tried to look at references, and unfortunately we couldn't find any documented and anything documented in regards to nudist-friendly beach. So it was something that was new to us. But then, as I said, that we considered those 5 critical documents. Firstly, in the Act, according to Act, we established that as a government or as a state, we may not unfairly discriminate on one or more grounds. And those grounds that are stated include, amongst others, sex, sexual orientation, beliefs, and many other things. And then on the issue of law on nudity, we looked at what is the law says. What does the law say in terms of nudity? And we established that in terms of the law and in terms of the precedents of the court rulings, we established that nudity in itself is not a crime or is not an offense.
Reverend, as a chairperson of the Concerned Citizens Group, obviously you are against the beach. There you are now. Give us your reasons.
Just to give you an indication as to how we got to where we are now, sometime last year, that would have been 2014, the nudists enlisted the help of Hibiscus Coast Municipality to violate municipal and national laws. They also got assistance from them to ignore the overwhelming democratic majority of Hibiscus Coast residents, the church and other faith-based organizations, Child Welfare SA, traditional leaders, and they tipped what was supposed to be moral regeneration, which is one of the themes of this dispensation, to become moral degeneration, and also to degrade the national moral climate. We hear about tourism. We're simply looking at the fundamental foundation on which this premise is founded. The concept of X-rated tourism, because that's what it is an X-rated tourism, naked body tourism, is a municipal camouflage to hide the intentions of the nudists. They were just looking for a place to have fun, except the place that they choose to have fun was a place that is a public property. And the South African criminal law and procedure indicates that whether a place is secluded or not, whether a member of the public is present or not, it doesn't make it less public. It is still a public property. And so we can hide behind trees, hide behind leaves. It doesn't make it non-public. And so that is our position.
But would you concede that the Constitution allows for that?
Absolutely not. There is no page in the Constitution of South Africa that allows for public nudity, none whatsoever. In fact, I will cite you to Act 32 of 2007, subsection, that would be section 9 and also 22. You will discover that public nudity in the terms of the word that they use is flashing is clearly forbidden in the South African Constitution. I believe that when they submitted this application, they were not submitting this application based on a future law. They were submitting it based on existing law. And maybe my friend Simon would indicate perhaps to us, why do some people have the liberty of acting on a law that doesn't exist with the hope that in future it will exist?
Thank you, Reverend. Yes, Simon, what do you say to that?
As a municipality, we represent interest of different groups. And in terms of the Constitution of South Africa, as a state, we have to protect interest of even the minorities, even those who may be having a minority view. We have to protect that. As a state, we've got that responsibility. And also, I need to indicate that there is no way, or we have never, as a municipality, assisted the Naturalist Association to break the law. We have never done that. What we have done as a municipality, we have processed an application of which we are provided by the law that we have a right to process such an application. So they submitted an application and we have processed the application. So it is the authority that we have as a municipality.
Sorry for the interruption, but the bylaw hasn't been amended yet.
Yes, the bylaw. Okay, let me come to the issue of having the bylaw amended. When the recommendation was submitted to council, it was saying, and I'm quoting what was written down, that let council consider relaxing 5.1 and 5.2 of the bylaw. Relaxation. So when you relax, so for that portion also, and I need to emphasize, so it's to relax the bylaw. So the resolution has been taken. The only outstanding issue is to have the amended bylaw gazetted.
Okay, but why hasn't that been done yet?
The issue of having the bylaw gazetted is beyond our control. Firstly, let me indicate that even before we started with the process of having it gazetted, of applying for it to be gazetted, we had to undergo consultation processes, because as I indicated earlier on, that when the resolution was taken, there was that proviso that we have to engage with relevant authorities, that is KZN, Zemvelo, and Department of Environmental Affairs. So we firstly engaged with them, and it took longer than we expected, the deliberations with those authorities. And thereafter, after we concluded with them that no, we are not going to access the coast in terms of having to build or construct infrastructure there. We don't have to do that. So we then started the process of having the bylaw gazetted.
So that is why you guys say at the moment you look the other way. They can swim, but you discourage them. But you're not doing anything else.
Yes, maybe also When the issue was being discussed, because council meetings are open to public, they were present when the issue was discussed, and they were present when the resolution was taken. It was not a matter of us reporting to them. They were there when the resolution was taken. They are aware that the resolution was taken, that the council approves, the application, though there was that provision. So then, in terms of having the resolution, therefore, we were approving the relaxation. But the issue of having the bylaw gazetted did not actually form part of the resolution. So they did not understand that part. Hence, in our communication with them, I have to emphasize that we always indicate that we encourage you from using it up until we have the bylaw gazetted.
Okay, now let's hear from the Reverend.
Johan,
What do you say to that?
What we've just listened to is classical politics. Is simply polished up. Let me differentiate between facts and politics. Fact number one: Hibiscus Coast Municipality rolled out a red carpet for the nudists to violate Act 32, 2007, which is national law. The head nudist admitted at a public interview, I do have copy, that he knows that public nudity is against the law in South Africa. Now, for some reason, Hibiscus Coast Municipality, with all of their investigation, didn't understand that national law governs Hibiscus Coast Municipality too. So, Johan, one would have to add things up here. If, for instance, the bylaw is amended, and Hibiscus Coast Municipality says, go ahead now, flaunt your privacy in the nude for our children to see, what happens to national law? Is Hibiscus Coast Municipality a republic as far as that is concerned? Secondly, one of the issues that my friend Simon has been very shady about is the fact that there has been no discouragement of the nudists from using that beach. They have actually been encouraged by both Mr. Simon. He openly told them that if they violate the law, they will not be arrested, they will not be prosecuted. We stand here as well that Hibiscus Coast Municipality does not have the legal right to change a law that governs the nation of South Africa. We stand very strongly there. Because if nudity was just a Hibiscus Coast Municipality issue, then a simple amendment of a bylaw would be something that would suffice. And as Mr. Simon says that the bylaw has been amended and it just needs to be gazetted, well, I would simply dispute that because my communication with the Office of the Premier and COCTA reveals that Hibiscus Coast Municipality has informed them that 1, the law has not yet been amended, 2, the beach is not yet legally operational. So maybe Mrs. Simon is speaking for a different section of Hibiscus Coast Municipality than the one that has communicated with COCTA. I have the physical evidence. So if the beach is not legally operational, it means if anybody uses it naked, it is illegal. Have you sent that information to the nudists to tell them that this is not a soft talk, it is illegal for you to be there naked? Lastly, Mr. Simon himself was present on April 4th, watching from a distance, possibly enjoying the nudity that was being displayed at Penjati. He couldn't have missed it. He saw there. Did he go down there and tell them, look, you should stop this. You're violating the law? No, he didn't. He simply went quietly back to his car and drove away.
Thank you, Reverend. Fighting talk, Simon. What do you say?
No, it's unfortunate that there can be such an utterance or an allegation from a respected Clarion person. And it's very unfortunate to allege that perhaps the actions of the municipality are informed by some exchanges. And I will vehemently deny or indicate that there's never been such. And the municipality operates within prescribed law. And we cannot be influenced by any other, external factor. maybe
May I just jump in, Johan? The framework of the law that Hibiscus Coast Municipality operates in, does it include Act 32 of 2007, Section 9 and Section 22? Does it include Act 24 of 2008? Does it include municipal bylaw as it stands now, not the one you hope to amend? Which law is applicable to Trafalgar as we speak right now that you would say you were following?
Just enlighten us. The first one that you referred to, what does it say?
Act 32 of 2007 clearly says that you should not be exposing, I can read it verbatim, but they already have a copy. It clearly says you should not be exposing the naked body, the female breast, and the genital organs to any adult. You should not do so in public. And Section 22 says likewise, you should not do it to children. Now, the senior legal counsel appointed by COCTA at the behest of the Premier's office has already informed Hibiscus Coast Municipality that exposure of the naked bodies to children is a crime. And as far as we are concerned, we perceive that that already happened on April the 3rd. We're looking at the records that we have to maybe approach the public and ask them what do they think should be done as a result of this.
Okay, now let's give Simon a chance.
Yeah. Firstly, the law that it is being referred to, it's clear. It says it prohibits being nuded or to expose your private parts. I won't mention them to public. And then it says that becomes, an offense. But it's not, nudity in itself is not an offense. I have to emphasize that. That nudity, it says it clearly that nudity in itself is not an offense. And secondly, we were working on the precedents of a ruling in the High Court, in the Cape High Court, against the Cape Town Municipality, Cape Town City Council, and the naturalist, whereby there was an argument, the same argument, and the High Court ruled. We've got records of that ruling, whereby the judge indicated that if you expose your body, all of your body, including your private part, in a secluded area, that is not an offense. When you expose that in a secluded area, that is not an offense in itself. But when you deliberately expose it in a public area, knowing very well that you will be offending other people, then that is an offense. That is a ruling of the High Court. So we were working on that. We did a thorough research. We were working on that. And I need to also indicate that it is not correct to say that we were advised. It may happen that in our interaction with COCTA, they mention the issue of exposing or of being nude in the underage children. But we were the first one to mention that when we exchanged because COCTA requested us to make a presentation to them before making a presentation to the cabinet of KZN. In our presentation, we mentioned that ourselves without getting anything from the local council from COCTA. So, we did a thorough research.
Okay, gentlemen. Just before we carry on, we've already run quite a few minutes on this this debate. So let's go for closing statements.
Johan and Simon, there are a few things that the public of Hibiscus Coast Municipality expect. They expect the absence of favoritism. They expect transparency. They expect openness. They don't expect for any sector of the community to receive favorite treatment. They expect for the law to be upheld. Hibiscus Coast Municipality has created a no-law zone. When you don't have a new law and you tell the police department they should not enforce existing law, Mr. Simon, that is favoritism. The options that are open to correct that mistake is vast. But it goes all the way in the way that Hibiscus Coast Municipality has treated anyone who opposes the nudist. They are simply sidelined, ignored, like more than 40 letters that we've written to municipality concerning this matter. They've not been responded to. That is not a coincidence. The residents of Trafalgar, more than 100, said they don't want this beach there. About 6 or so nudists said they wanted it, and their democratic right was basically ignored. When the vote was taken here, I'm sure it was the majority of the vote that carried the resolution. The people of Penjati also deserve the same democratic majority to know that if they stand, you didn't consider the opinions of the minority of the council members. You went with the majority, which is the democratic principle. Now, when it came to the nudist, you see now you flip the coin the other way around, and now you have concern for the minority. The minorities have no more rights than the Constitution provides. And I will state again, Mr. Simon, the law needs to be enforced. All of the acts that we have indicated, they need to be enforced. And the double talk by the municipality telling the province that it is not legally operational, then telling the public that everything is okay, somebody needs to clarify this double talk and come up with a straight talk. And for us, the straight talk would mean shutting down the nudist beach until all the processes are complete.
Thank you, Reverend. Simon.
We welcome being challenged as a state through legal provisions, including the public protector, by any structure or individual, and we are comfortable with that. We are confident that we have followed all the necessary stated protocols or laws, and we are not in violation of any law. And we want to re-emphasize that we discourage people or naturalists using that area as a public nudist friendly beach up until we've finalized the issue of having the bylaw gazetted, as we always have been saying. But I also have to say that we are not going to give instruction to police to do their job or not to do their job. If police feel like arresting people for breaking the law, they are free to do that. Maybe what is also important, Johan, is that even when that application came, people were already using that area as a nudist-friendly beach, but they wanted it to be left. And it's not the only area. The one at Umhlanga is being used. The one at Cape Town is being used. But you have never heard that someone has been arrested.
Simon, thank you very much. Reverend Mike Efanga, thank you.
Thank you, Johan.
And let's hope there's some clarity on the matter now.